Hi, everyone. This is Candy Johnson. I am your host, and this is Real Talk brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today's topic is what is a leader? All right. The reason that this topic was brought up and suggested as being a topic is because with many of our topics, we gear our broadcast to answering questions or dealing with certain issues that affect our everyday life. Just real talk about real shit going on and real things that we deal with every day in common everyday life. All right. Um, there are a lot of people online that do broadcasting, and because a person has a lot of followers or a lot of subscriptions or a lot of friends on Facebook or what have you, people tend to view them as leaders. Okay, now I brought that up to point out a fact, okay? Not to say that everyone who has a lot of subscriptions or followers are not leaders, but I want to uh, specify the fact that because that they do have a lot of subscribers or followers does not make them a leader, all right? What it does make them is very creative. Um, it also points out the fact that they have figured out a niche, something that attracts people, all right, and they're capitalizing on that to earn income in doing so, okay, and capitalizing on that. Mm. And so that within itself does say that they do have um, some entrepreneur uh, skills. But what it does not prove is that they are leaders. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to understand and know what a leader is.
I'm just really interested in the whole leadership issue in this community at the moment because it is a big thing, and there are some that are self-styled leaders, and there are some that are just acknowledged to have leadership.
I really wanted to address the meaning of leader, okay? Because I was talking to a gentleman by the name of Grimm about leadership, all right? And he was saying that we don't need leaders mainly because in his mind, leaders mean politicians, presidents, you know, all of these people that in our mind represent something negative or evil, okay? uh, and in that regard, I can understand why he would say we don't need them, because they have caused a lot of problems, all right? But leadership, the word leadership, I would really like to uh, look it up and get a definition of it and go through it uh, word by word, because sometimes people get these generalized understandings of the meaning of a word, and sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with the real definition of that word. Like the word leader, for example, the way he sees it in his mind, he sees it in his mind as being a politician, okay? Which a leader has nothing to do with being, politics, all right, being a leader. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It actually um, doesn't have any particular field that is confined to, all right? Um, you can be, okay, a father is a leader in his home. Does that make him a politician? You know, um, no, it doesn't. But it is the position of the father to lead in their homes. So when people say we are all equal, that may sound good, but it's not realistic. Okay, just not realistic. In the home structure, the kids are not supposed to be equal in authority with the parents. Okay, that's not supposed to be that way. All right, because then you have a problem with being able to um, teach the child and guide them and being able to have a harmonious family structure when the kids are equal to the parents in authority. Yes, they are equal as people. Yes, they're people. But when we speak about leadership, that is, I think, having solely to do with not so much who is in charge, because then that's when you get into more of a bossy type um, mentality of leadership. Okay, and then we're going to do another segment that outlines the difference between a leader and a boss. Okay, but on this particular segment, we want to just point out that leadership can be obtained without a title. Okay, um, in the family structure, the father of that household is the leader. All right, the only title he holds is father, dad, husband. You know what I mean? Um, but he is the authoritative. Um, he's in authoritative position in the home. All right. Um, yes, the wife has authority as well. Okay. And I will say this in is my opinion on this point, as far as the mother has authority as well, but I don't believe that it should be totally and completely equal to the husband. All right. However, I do think that there should be, a what do you call that? Huh?
An organization.
Yes, it should be some, agreement there, and where they come together and they decide and make decisions for the household together. Okay, and then once they make decisions for the household together, the wife then carries out those things that they agreed upon. All right, but I believe that the husband has the right to veto the whole thing and says no. I think we should go this way, and I'm gonna stand my ground on this particular situation. This is kind of brought up in the for those that believe in the Bible. In the I believe it was Joshua who said, "As for me and my house, we will serve God." Okay, so what he did was when he made that authoritative decision, he overruled any other you know what do you call that when people suggestions? All right, he overruled any other suggestions. If his wife wanted to suggest, well, maybe we should serve the God of this and the God of that, they were overruled in that particular situation. All right, and so when it's for the betterment of the family as a whole, I think the husband should have the right to overrule the decision and say, like Joseph did, as for me and my house, this is what we gonna do.
Right. Right,
And,
Kenny.
and stand by that. Because the man is the authority in the home. And when we go against the authority, this is what happens in the home. The whole family structure is thrown off. All right. When the wife is running everything, she's manipulating the husband, and she's got complete control over kids. And when the dad tell the kids something, they go say, "Mom, Dad's trying to make me," and it causes problems. As opposed to when dad says something, if mom says, well, yeah, you can go to your friend's house for the night, and dad says no, they have a lot of unscrupulous stuff going on over in that household. I don't want you spending nights over there. You can go visit, and that's the limit. I'm gonna limit your contact with those people because I don't know what's going on over there. And he's doing it for the betterment of that child. And then the woman overrules that, then that causes problems. That causes problems. It also undermines his authority, and it makes the child think that, okay, well, whenever I want to have my way, and they start manipulating, okay? They start manipulating and pitting one against the other, and it causes chaos, all right? But when there's structure, then you have more harmonious, it's more harmonious.
So what you're talking about now then is how we should treat our leaders, or how we should respect our leaders. Like you're taking it in the context of a home where you have a father who is the leader of the home. Now, and you talk a lot about his authority, but he's a leader by responsibility. It's a responsibility, and the authority, whatever authority he has, should be completely linked to what the responsibility he has.
Yes.
More authority than his responsibility requires for him to have. I mean, he's responsible for raising these children so that when they become adults, they can be leaders themselves, and
yes.
Right. So, and you were talking about the definition of leadership, like the words. So I did look it up, and
good.
Wikipedia has two different ways of looking at what a leader is. Mm-hmm. One is simply somebody who people follow.
Right.
So they just naturally become a person with leadership
qualities.
Or a person who specifically motivates and organizes a group of other people to achieve a common goal, which is what we have a lot of those kinds of leaders in this community.
Right. I myself, the first definition I can really relate to, because I never wanted to per se be a leader. I always wanted to be more so a behind the scenes type of person. But people would always follow me. They would always do whatever. They were like, well, Candy's doing this, and look what Candy's doing. Candy did this. I'm going to do, or they wouldn't even verbalize it, but I would see them copying off of what they see me do, Right. And, so I think in that sense, you have people that are born leaders. So, that we didn't make the decision and say, I want to boss somebody around one day, or we didn't idolize other people that per se were in leadership positions, because I didn't ever say, follow me, do what I'm doing, or anything like that. I always just, I was always very confident and driven, and I guess for that reason, I'm not very sure why people follow me. All I know is that they do.
Right. And how do you think a person who has a natural charisma, or they're naturally leaders, how do you think they should approach having that gift?
With humility, and the utmost humility, Now, some people I need to do a segment on humility because people think laying down and letting people walk over you means you're being humble, but it's not the same. Um,
No, not
what
at
I
all.
mean, yeah, what I mean by humility is um, don't get the big head. Um, take compliments with a grain of salt, criticism with a grain of salt, and also understand the responsibility that's been given to you. To that even with leadership now, there's some accountability that goes along with leadership. As I was saying about the father, yes, he has the authority, but then at the same time, now, if he's making decisions based on his ego or just because he the boss type of, decision making, there's consequences to that. All right. There's consequences.
Right.
So,
You now have power because with leadership, suddenly people are looking to you. Now,
exactly.
the things that you do are going to be affecting other people's lives, either for the better or for the worse. So there is a responsibility and a need for honesty, especially with yourself.
Definitely. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a responsibility. It always comes down to leaders have a responsibility, and every leader should be doing. And I totally believe this is true. It's my opinion, I guess, but every leader should be consider himself a servant to the person that
Yes,
they
I am
are leading.
definitely a servant. I'm a servant all the way down to the bone, baby.
Amen, sister. Yeah,
Yes, yes, and listen, yes,
that's the humility part of it. Is that
yes,
you are doing this for the people. You're doing your leadership duties or responsibilities for the people you're leading.
yes, yes, yes. It's ultimate servitude. To me, it's such an honor to be a servant. In our society, it has been looked down upon to be a servant, but I think it's the most honorable thing to be a servant. To me, that's the highest level of accolades that God could have ever given me. And I thank him all the time for that. Um, all the time I thank him for that because I deem it very honorable to be a servant. And because in order to serve, as you said, um, be a servant, you have a lot of people that are following you, and they're looking at your example, and you're responsible of a lot of things. So I deem that a very honorable position, and I don't take it lightly.
It's a
Um,
privilege. It's a
yeah, it
privilege.
is a privilege. And so since he chose me, I appreciate it. And I show that by always um, trying to uh, increase in knowledge and wisdom so that I can lead the best I can. And the most important thing that I always tell people about being a leader is the best leaders are the best leaders because they know who and what to follow, you
Right.
see. And so that's what makes them great leaders. So, for example, with my record label, I know that I'm good with music. I know that I'm good with business, but I'm not too good at computers. I'm not too good at certain other areas of expertise that's needed for the best outcome for my record label. So I'm willing to bow, and give leadership over to someone who is more capable of helping us, excel, okay, in that area. And so that's the key to being a great leader. See, a lot of people think leadership is about bossing people around. when it is totally not. It's the direct opposite. It's about being able to yield over, you know, to another, you know, and being able to do so, and still knowing that me yielding to you uh doesn't take from me, it adds to me, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Every leader should be, the people that he's leading, he should be, you know, grooming them to be leaders themselves and take his place. You know, you don't want to hold on to this power. You don't want the power for so that you can control other people. What you
Right.
want to do is make everybody a leader. You know?
Right. Um, Everybody is a leader in their own capacity. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
yeah, and that's why I was pointing out that I may be good in this area, I might be good in that area, all right, but I'm not a leader in everything, you know. I mean, people, because I do have extensive knowledge in a lot of areas, people think I know everything, but I'm like, sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know everything.
Oh, I know.
And it is so sweet that people respect me in that manner, but it doesn't help me to sit and be pious and even to pretend that I know everything. That doesn't help anyone. All right. So when I don't know something in or either I'm not as skilled or knowledgeable in a particular area, I will refer them to someone who I know who is. And that's why I really love connecting with different people so that I can know who to refer them to and say, okay, well, Rick is good at, you know, graphics and computers and, you know, or whatever, you know, and then, you know, forward them, you know, that's, see, a leader knows how to, another thing about, characteristic about a good leader is a good leader knows how to delegate authority. All right. I really believe that God gave me the leadership ability because he knew I wouldn't abuse it. You see, our society tends to give leadership to people that will abuse it because they don't know um, how important it is not to give authority to someone who has the potential to abuse it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happens with the politics, all right? People in general are not very good at picking leaders. They're not. They're really not. Um, and it goes without saying, you'll see if you, and this is true. Let me use this as an example. You'll see hundreds of thousands of subscription. I just came from off of a YouTube page. I happened to run across a video, and I clicked on it. I don't know, just out of curiosity, and I clicked on the video. And after I watched the video, I was like, that was a waste of my motherfucking time. I was so disturbed by it, you know. Because even though it was only a minute and something video, it angered me because I felt like this idiot stole a minute and something of my time, you know. Whereas the person who posted it probably thought, oh, this is so fun. And, you know, this particular person who made this video has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. This particular person has thousands of videos, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You know what that tells me? Hundreds of thousands of people are following an idiot.
Yep.
Hundreds and thousands of people have chosen to follow an idiot that will consistently steal their time.
Yeah. Welcome to the modern era. That's all I can say. It's the way it is.
This has been going on. Actually, there's nothing new age about this. This has been going on since the beginning of time. All right. And even if you don't believe in the Bible, there are historic books that will show proof of this, how people, I mean, just look at Hitler, for example. In your mind, you would think, who would follow this idiot?